The biennial joint American-Egyptian exercise is underway. It's the first time the U.S. has participated in the exercise since 2009, and that, of course, is due to instability in Egypt. The operations involve security drills and anti-terror drills. Special attention will be paid to counter-terror tactics. Now, around 200 American personnel are taking part. A number of Arab countries, as well as those from NATO, are also participating. The exercise, dubbed Brightstar 2017, kicked off on Sunday and will run until the 20th of September. It's being held at the Mohamed Naguib military base, that's west of the Egyptian city of Alexandria.
This is an important exercise that Egypt is keen on every year. It has military exercises with other countries too, Arabs and others such as Russia. The American exercises this year are important because they train on how to combat terrorism and use the latest weapons to fight terrorists.
Well, let's bring you more now on this military exercise. I'm joined by CGTN's Yasser Hakim, live in Cairo. Yasser, of course, this joint exercise between the militaries of Egypt and the U.S. has not been held for nearly 10 years. What's been the highlight of this year's event so far?
Well, obviously, after the resumption of the Brightstar, counterterrorism is the main issue there. Around 200 U.S. soldiers are participating in this drill with the Egyptian armed forces. They're working on two fronts. First of all, how to establish joint command centers between two armies, and each command center would be led by one of the two armies or one of the two sides, and how to operate these command centers in different regional areas, especially in combat situations. Another issue is to train the soldiers on the special forces operations against terrorists, and especially in inhabited areas and inside cities. Now, this is different than before, because in the last few years, obviously, since the last Brightstar took place, the involvement of terrorism in the region has been rapid and has reached cities and countries, not only areas that are uninhabited. So you see terrorists hiding within the population in cities, crowded areas, and trying to operate there to create havoc. And those training drills this time are on how to deal with terrorists who are operating in inside cities, and how to manage to locate them and to stop any terrorist attacks in these inside the cities. So it's about how the army would be working with non-conventional enemy, and in a non-conventional atmosphere. You have to make sure that you are within civilians, so how to deal without losses with the civilians in the area in the case of a confrontation between the soldiers and terrorists. There will also be drills from the sea. The air base and the military base is actually next to the Mediterranean Sea on Alexandria, so there will also be some drills in the sea using the Navy, the Egyptian Navy on board.
And Yasser, as if just to emphasize the importance of these counter-terror drills, we are also hearing reports that a bomb has been detonated near a police and army convoy in northern Sinai. What more can you tell us about this?
Yes, it happened today on the border city of Al Arish, an area called Bir Al Abd, and this is the area where the army has been on a crackdown against terrorists for the last couple of years, and it is a border area where militants have been infiltrating from the borders, the eastern borders with the Gaza Strip, and therefore it's not the first time that this area has witnessed such an attack. It was a bomb attack from a car that was parked next to a convoy that was passing by. The convoy had stopped to check the car, and the car exploded, obviously damaging the convoy. and then there was that was followed by an attack with machine gun fire from militants who were hiding in the desert area around this site, attacking the police. They have hit at each other. The number of casualties within the police forces is not confirmed, but it is more than 11. We understand there are 4 emergency medics who've also been targeted by the militants while trying to evacuate the injured policemen. At this point, it is still ongoing. The army, along with the police, are now trying to track down those assailants to try to attack those militants and locate their positions to arrest them or deal with the assailants. So it's still an ongoing operation, and it comes a day after the Egyptian forces have managed to bombard 2 cells, 2 terrorist cells in Giza, in Greater Cairo, whereby they have managed to kill 8 terrorists and injured 2 who were hiding in apartments in the area, and they have found weapons and ammunition as well as explosive belts in their apartments. So there has been a lot of activity in the counter-terrorism part, but it's still ongoing at the moment, and the crackdown on terrorism obviously will take some time.
Indeed. Well, thank you very much for that update. That's Yasser Hakim live for us there in Cairo, Egypt.